Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. We are the Seekers of the Arcane and I'm Mars.
I'm Jessy.
And today we have a really cool video for you guys. Today we want to get into the subject matter of why Freemasonry is very much connected with Satanism and why people believe that it is demonic in nature. Before we get into today's topic, if you guys can quickly do us a favor and subscribe to our channel and like this video, it really helps us out to create and continue to create content like this. So if you guys are interested in subjects like this and also paranormal investigations that, of course, that we go on, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to share if you guys do like the video. So now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this topic, we want to give a brief explanation for the people who probably are not super aware. If you're somewhat kind of new into the topic of Freemasonry, we want to give you guys a brief explanation as to what Freemasonry is. So I think Jessy in this little part will take over.
So to keep it brief, Freemasonry is said to have formed by the ancient masons or stonemasons that had built the pyramids and had then kept the tradition and built the cathedrals, the temples that are around. There's also stories that they had formed after the Knights Templar. They are also connected to most mystery schools in some way, in the sense that they share certain rituals and beliefs. So Freemasonry can be considered today it's considered mostly a fraternal organization, but it is also a school of thought.
So in order to get and dissect the topic, we need to take it back to the beginning. And we need to address the fact of the matter is that this all began with the Catholic churches and how they denounced Freemasonry. So this basically happened and started in 1738 when Pope Clement XII had issued a papal, which is an official document that is issued by the Pope, basically condemning the Freemasons. From then on out, it had set the tone and the future of how the church will see the Freemasons and how they will view the Freemasons from now on. So to get further into that, the church viewed the Masonic secrets and other oaths as dangerous, and they felt that way because it would undermine the church's authority basically over the people and therefore their beliefs in the church. Because of the oaths that the Freemasons make, the Catholic Church saw that as a conflict with the Catholic loyalty to the Pope, meaning that you could not be a Freemason in the church, but however you could be a Catholic in Freemasonry. So here is another point. The religious indifference. The Freemasonry promoted the idea that people from all different types of religions and all different types of backgrounds could meet on equal terms. Because of that, specifically, the church did not take to that ideology very well. The fact that the Freemasons accepted all religions, the church very much had something against that. The church basically thought that the Freemasons rejected the divine revelation and the authority of the church. Another major point is of political influences. So in the 18th and 19th centuries, because of the free thinking that the Masons had, the Masons supporting the Democratic and Republican movements, it threatened the power of the monarchs and the church.
So Leo Taxil was a French writer and a journalist. He was also considered an atheist and an anti-Catholic writer. He then later joined the Catholic Church with the intent of mocking it and to spread falsities about not only the Freemasons but also other religions, and also creating conspiracies of them going against the Catholic Church, which made him gain the trust of the Church and the Pope. He went as far as making up a few articles to show his loyalty and dedication to the Church. Knowing how the Church and the Pope already disapproved of the Masons, he told a story about how a person by the name of Dr. Bataille, who was said to be a surgeon serving in the French Navy, and how he had infiltrated the Freemasons. Dr. Bataille allegedly observed their rituals that he viewed as satanic. In further articles, the story developed that Bataille came across a deeper secret order within Masons called the Padalists, and they are said to be in a pact with demons and worshipped Lucifer. As Bataille's story unfolded, he introduced a woman by the name of a Diana Vogan, who was a supposed high priestess of the Paladists, to discuss to him that she is in danger of assassinations from the Freemasons because she had decided to convert into Catholicism. In 1897, Taxil had called a press conference to introduce Diana, but instead what he ended up doing was admitting that he tricked the Church and the anti-Masonic group, and even thanked the Church for helping him publicize his story.
So with all that given background in history, I think it gives a little bit of an insight as to where the path was heading for the Freemasons and why it started gaining a reputation connected with Satanism, demonization, Lucifer, even the Illuminati. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the actual demonization of Freemason. To make one thing very, very clear, there are different kinds of groups within the Freemasons. Those groups have separated themselves from the unification of Freemasonry, and those are called clandestine Freemasons. There are also groups that are appendant bodies of Freemasons that are considered organizations associated with Freemasonry, such as an organization known as the Scottish Rites and the Shriners. These groups and these organizations are fundamentally not the same as Freemasonries, but they are connected with Freemason. So for example, the clandestine groups focus more on money and power, and the appendant bodies don't really focus on traditional Freemasonry teachings. Within everything, there will always be some sort of corruption in it. Goes to say that Freemasonry itself is not by any means free and clear of, any evil or any evil people. It just goes to say that there is good and bad in everything, and that is to be considered when we're talking about Freemasons and the demonization of Freemasonry. So because of the corruption in general, but specifically obviously we're talking with Freemasons, it can lead people to join in the Freemasons for the wrong reasons. Some of those reasons could be just for them to say that they are a Freemason, or maybe just to even gain a certain status, or another reason could possibly be that they believe that they can gain some sort of financial gain just for being a Mason. If the organizations or groups themselves are corrupt in any way, they can definitely mislead people by making false promises and or scamming people, which could lead to some people being very, very upset about being scammed or manipulated or lied to, that can cause them to maybe want to spread misinformation, or to possibly just even talk about their bad experiences within these organizations or groups, which can lead to it again, like spreading like wildfire. And everyone knows that everyone loves a good conspiracy theory. So there would definitely be people out there that are willing to bite, and they're willing to go along with these stories. So the reason why this information is important to know and it's important to have is because when you can take a step back and analyze this information yourself and understand this information yourself, you can start to see how it can almost kind of muddy the imagery of the Freemasons and what they really stand for and what they really teach.
So now on to the misinterpretation of Freemasonry. Now that we have that cleared, let's talk about how all that information we have discussed in the beginning of the video has a major influence on the people's perception of Freemasonry. The image has been tainted because nowadays Freemasonry is considered a fraternal organization, so along the way it has lost its meaning. This information has been in effect even till modern times. So now we have people who have joined Freemasonry without having a deeper understanding of what is taking place and what they are seeing. If people are in any way religious and their religion plays a big part in their life, sometimes that can affect the way they interpret the rituals and the symbolism that is inside of the lodges. For example, everyone talks about the all-seeing eye and how they believe it represents the Illuminati control and satanic surveillance. But what it actually represents is the eye of divine providence, meaning it symbolizes spiritual enlightenment, moral guidance, and the omnipresence of God, the Creator.
Plain and simply put, people can definitely just fake and pretend that they are a Freemason, spread word of certain situations that never happened, that never even occurred, or maybe one day they just attended one meeting and then they just left, and or maybe these people just had bad intentions when joining the Freemasonry, and at the end of it, all they really wanted to do was just set the world on fire. With all that being said, I think closing thoughts on this is just to basically shed light on what Freemasonry is about. I think it's a very general way of looking at it. We could definitely go further into more details, I think, of what the Freemasons really do and what they're really about. We just wanted to give a brief overview as to why people have made it into such this scary, very demonic, very satanic type of a group or fraternity, however you refer to them as. And it's to shed light on it and to just let you guys know that the way that we feel about it is that there's really nothing to be afraid of. At the end of the day, I feel like a lot of it just comes down to misinformation, misunderstanding. Sometimes it takes a little bit more than just taking every bit of information at face value. I think you have to do your own research. You got to kind of put the puzzle pieces together, and I think that this is what we're here to do with a lot of these topics and subjects and paranormal investigations. It's mainly because we want to show you guys that there really is nothing to be that afraid of when it comes to the darkness, you know, and sometimes the darkness is just misunderstood. And it's like how they say, you really only fear what you don't understand. Once you understand it, it takes the fear away. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know down in the comments your guys' thoughts, your guys' feelings. What do you guys think about the Freemasons? We would love to know and hear your guys' opinions on this topic. We know it's a very well talked about topic. And at the end of the day, if we don't change your mind and can't change your opinion, that's all good and dandy. We're just here to try to give you guys a little bit of knowledge. With that being said, if you guys can again subscribe to our channel, like the video, comment, show us some support, share the video as well to anyone that you feel like should know about the truth. Anyway, we will see you guys on our next video, and thank you guys for sticking around. Bye.